In the early hours of April 16, 2026, police in Fairfax County, Virginia, received a 911 call from a home in the Camelot neighborhood of Annandale.
Please help me! Please help me!
A quiet, affluent community known for large single-family homes and low rates of violent crime. The caller was a teenager. He told the dispatcher that he believed his father may have stabbed his mother. He said she was on the ground, bleeding. He said there were holes in her shirt. He did not know where his father was. Dispatch relayed the call to responding officers as a possible stabbing. When police arrived and searched the home, they found a different scene. In the basement, they located a woman who had been shot multiple times. She was pronounced dead at the scene. She was Dr. Serena Fairfax, a 45-year-old dentist and mother of two. Officers began searching the rest of the house for her husband. According to police radio traffic from the scene, they cleared the home room by room. His car was still in the driveway. Roughly 15 minutes after the first call came in, officers found him upstairs in the primary bedroom with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He was pronounced dead as well. That man was Justin Fairfax, a former federal prosecutor and, until 2022, the Lieutenant Governor of Virginia. Fairfax County Police Chief Kevin Davis later confirmed there had been no standoff between officers and Fairfax and no significant gap in time between the two deaths. Investigators say interior surveillance cameras inside the home, which, as we'll get to, had been installed months earlier for an unrelated reason, corroborated the sequence of events. The couple's two teenage children, a son and a daughter, were in the house at the time. They were not physically harmed. Victim services personnel responded to the scene immediately, and the children were later placed in the care of extended family. Police have said the children's well-being remains a central concern as the investigation continues. That is the core of what happened that night. The rest of this report is about how two people got to that point, and what is and isn't actually known about why. Serena and Justin Fairfax met as undergraduates at Duke University, long before either of them held any public role. They married in June 2006 in an outdoor ceremony in Arlington, Virginia. They went on to have two children. Serena built a career in dentistry. She earned her degree from the Virginia Commonwealth University School of Dentistry in 2005, completed advanced residency training, and co-owned a family dental practice in Oakton, Virginia, where she worked for years. She was a member of the American Dental Association and the Omicron Kappa Upsilon Dental Honor Society. People who knew her, colleagues, patients, friends, consistently described her the same way: disciplined, attentive, and deeply devoted to her two children.
She was one of the most loving, caring people. It wasn't just a profession for her, right? It was an expression of love and compassion. It was her way of service to others. Quiet person, and this personal things, and I understand me not knowing, and I don't think anyone did. Not to this extent. I'm not getting another dentist.
That's the impact that he had.
That's how much she means to me. I just not.
What do you think she'd have to say about that?
She'd be laughing right now and telling me I'm stupid. Serena is a real person and an accomplished person. Of her dreams, hopes, plans that they had before this tragedy, that they still know that they can meet those.
Justin built a career in law and politics. He attended Duke for undergraduate study and later earned his law degree from Columbia. He worked as a federal prosecutor before entering Virginia politics. And in 2017, he was elected lieutenant governor, only the second black official ever elected to statewide office in Virginia. He served from 2018 to 2022. For most of that period, Fairfax was considered, in the words of several political observers, a rising figure in Virginia and national Democratic politics. That changed in 2019. In February 2019, two women came forward with allegations against Fairfax. Vanessa Tyson, an academic then affiliated with Stanford University, said Fairfax forced her to perform oral sex during an encounter in 2004. Days later, Meredith Watson said Fairfax sexually assaulted her in 2000 when both were students at Duke. Watson's attorney said she had disclosed the assault to friends at the time and that former classmates corroborated her account. Fairfax denied both allegations. He said the encounters were consensual, and he said he passed a polygraph test regarding the claims. He characterized the accusations then and for years afterward as a coordinated political effort to stop him from becoming governor. At the time, he was next in the line of succession. Governor Ralph Northam was facing separate calls to resign over a racist photo in his 1984 medical school yearbook, and had Northam stepped down, Fairfax would have become governor. Northam did not resign. Fairfax finished his term as lieutenant governor, but the allegations effectively ended his political rise. He ran for governor himself in 2021 and lost in the Democratic primary. He then left public office and returned to private legal practice, later representing several families of victims from the 2019 Virginia Beach mass shooting. Fairfax continued to contest the allegations well after leaving office. In 2023, he filed a $35 million defamation lawsuit against New York Public Radio over an interview it aired with one of his accusers. A federal judge dismissed the suit, ruling that Fairfax had not shown the legal standard of actual malice required for a public figure to win a defamation claim. Fairfax continued to maintain publicly and repeatedly that he had been wrongly accused. It's worth being precise here. Neither allegation resulted in a criminal charge or a civil finding against Fairfax. What can be said with confidence is that the accusations were made, that Fairfax denied them, that they ended his political career, and that, according to later court records from his divorce, they continued to weigh on him for years afterward. By 2025, the Fairfax marriage was in serious trouble. Court records show Serena filed for divorce that July. In her filing, she stated the couple had actually separated the year before, in June 2024, but they continued living under the same roof, in separate bedrooms, while the divorce proceeded. That arrangement wasn't unusual on its own. Virginia law requires a period of separation before a no-fault divorce can be finalized, and the Fairfaxes had signed a post-nuptial agreement, a legal contract, like a prenup, but executed after the wedding, that spelled out how they intended to divide assets if the marriage ended. According to a family law attorney who reviewed the case publicly, a Fairfax County judge found that the existence of that post-nuptial agreement actually complicated the timeline because the agreement suggested the couple had, at some point, intended to try to save the marriage. The judge ruled they had not been separated as long as Serena's filing claimed. It's an unusual legal wrinkle, and it appears to have prolonged the process. Custody and financial disputes played out in court over the following months. In the custody ruling, a judge made two findings that stand out. First, that Serena testified heavy daily alcohol consumption by Justin had become the norm in the household. Second, that in 2022, Justin used money set aside for their children's horseback riding lessons to purchase a handgun. The judge ultimately granted Serena custody of the children and ordered Justin to move out of the home by the end of April 2026. The court documents also state that following the 2019 assault allegations, Justin isolated from family involvement and moved toward heavier alcohol use, allegations he continued to deny, but which the judge wrote weighed on him substantially in the years that followed. There was one more significant incident before the killing. In January 2026, Justin called police and alleged that Serena had assaulted him. Officers responded and reviewed footage from surveillance cameras Serena had installed inside the home during the separation. The footage did not support the claim. Police determined no assault had occurred and made no arrest. Fairfax was not charged with filing a false report, though police later noted publicly that the allegation had been proven untrue. By April, the picture was this: a couple legally separating but still sharing a house. A court-ordered move-out date approaching, a documented false allegation from him against her months earlier, and, according to police, Fairfax had recently been served paperwork for an upcoming court date shortly before the killing. Investigators have pointed to that as a possible immediate trigger. They have not confirmed a definitive motive, and it's worth being direct about that. What connected the paperwork to that specific night is something investigators have suggested, not something they have proven. A few things haven't been established in the public record and shouldn't be presented as settled fact. The exact sequence of events inside the home between the 911 call and the moment police located Justin upstairs hasn't been fully detailed publicly beyond the general timeline police have released. Whether Justin legally owned the firearm used has not been confirmed in reporting. the specific contents of the court paperwork he'd recently been served. Beyond that, it concerned an upcoming hearing, haven't been detailed, and characterizations of the marriage as volatile or explanations for Justin's state of mind that night have come primarily from outside commentators and advocates speaking after the fact, not from police findings or court testimony. Those are worth distinguishing from the documented record. Dr. Serena Fairfax's death drew national attention, and much of that attention focused on a broader pattern: the disproportionate rate at which Black women experience fatal intimate partner violence. Advocates cited statistics showing more than 40% of Black women experience physical violence from an intimate partner in their lifetime, and pointed to Serena's case alongside several other recent killings of professional Black women by partners. The case also became, briefly, a flashpoint in a separate public argument. Roland Martin, a media commentator and longtime friend of Justin Fairfax's, the two belonged to the same fraternity, and Fairfax had given Martin his first interview after being elected lieutenant governor, posted a tribute after the killing that referenced their friendship and raised the subject of Black men's mental health. The post drew significant public criticism, with many arguing it minimized what had happened to Serena. Martin removed the post and issued a follow-up statement. What remains beyond the public debate is the fact of what happened in that house. A mother of two is dead, a father took his own life after killing her, and two teenagers who found the aftermath and made the call are left to navigate what comes next. Police have said their well-being continues to be a priority as the case is formally closed out.